Hi guys, I usually make pottery for nerds, but today I'm trying something new. I am creating an entire painting using only yarn. Off camera, I prepared this round canvas by underpainting it with acrylics to create that smooth blue blend. That'll help me get a sense for the style and feeling of the piece as I work. After that, you watched me go in with a piece of basic chalk and loosely outline where I want everything to be. The benefit of using chalk is that if you make a mistake, you just get it wet and it's gone. The process of yarn painting is very simple. I'm using a bottle of clear Elmer's glue, laying that down, and then adding the yarn strand at a time. One of the cons of this process is that it's really hard to erase because you kind of have to pick it out strand at a time. With the normal acrylic paint, you could just paint over it. Some of the benefits though, it is super easy to show texture and flow and direction. The whole piece feels really cool under your fingertips. And you get that like snake skin thing on your fingers when the glue dries and you get to peel it off like every day. Also, my apologies if you guys are distracted by the snoring in this video. That is courtesy of my bulldog Bucket. He was an incredibly helpful supervisor during this whole painting, and he is currently asleep on my chest as I record this voiceover. All I can say in his defense is that he is just a baby. Right, back to the painting. So these little dudes were humpback whales, and I decided that the best way to show that was to give them humps. I also wanted to favor a slightly Celtic influence with this piece, so I added a bunch of swirls and whirls just to give it that whimsy. As this was a round canvas, I also knew that I wanted this piece to be able to be displayed from any angle. And to further that goal, I decided to make a border that went all the way around the piece. And my brain said, lobsters. So here I am starting work on the lobster border. The idea with this border was to have alternating blue and red lobster sets divided by swirly whirls. Here I am adding a green strand of yarn all the way around where that border is going to be just to mark out my working area. And at this point, I was starting to get really excited about the piece because I feel like you can see it start to take shape. Usually, I am a mega sketcher. I have a lot of trouble visualizing things because I cannot see images in my head. So you'll see me skipping around between different parts of the piece here. And the reason for that is that the more that I was able to see on the canvas in front of me, the more I was able to tell how the different elements would balance out. So I got some of the wheels done. I added a little bit of the border because then I could see what that would look like. Just a smidge of the green that would be the border background. And then more border, and soon you'll see me switch to the clouds, which honestly are some of my favorite parts of this piece. I considered for a while leaving the background blank and giving the yarn more pop because the texture would make it stand above the surface, but it just needed clouds. My inspiration for these clouds is a very specific reference, but I don't know if y'all have ever played the game Yoshi's Story. It was a childhood favorite of mine on the Nintendo 64, and there is a level that is all yarn, which, holy smokes, actually never mind. I just looked back at it to make this voiceover, and it is not yarn. That is crazy. I have been holding on to that image for like 20 years, that level was all yarn, and there were swirly yarn clouds in the sky, and that one day I was going to make a piece of art that looked like that. So I guess really this piece looks like slightly misremembered childhood nostalgia and the fantasy of what I thought it was like. That is a total mind buster. Yeah, at the same time as I was playing that game in elementary school, I was also doing an art project just like this, where I was drawing with yarn, except it was terrible because I was a 10-year-old. But I guess I got my wires crossed there. And yeah, for 20 years, I've held on to the idea that one day I would make another yarn project just like that, but this time it would be like Yoshi's Story. So I guess score 1 for my terrible memory because I love the way that this came out. Thank you to everyone who stayed to listen to me yap and Bucket snore. I hope you all enjoyed this piece. Thank you.